What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the FallenRedZeo. Back here with more DC Multiverse figures, and this time we have, I believe it's the Amazon exclusive Flash and Batman of Earth -52 or Red Death in a 2-pack here, which is very cool. It has a nice little scenery, so we get some like ground here that we can put the figures on to make it look like they're actually fighting, and then of course get the two figures there similar together. So very cool looking figure. So obviously we get a Flash and a much cooler looking version. I like all the details on him, and then the Red Death as well, which of course is another variant of Bruce Wayne, but from a different Earth and with different powers of like Flash and everything. So it just looks super cool in that armor. I'm super excited to check this figure out. So of course we get all the same like features. We get the cards and then this cool new rock base. Around here on the back we just have pictures from the comics that they're from and everything. So nothing too special there, but I'm super excited to check these figures out. I think they look amazing. That Red Death I just can't wait to get my hands on. But let's go ahead and open these and we'll check these figures out together. So we're starting off with Flash here, and this is the DC Rebirth Flash, so that's why he looks kind of cool to me with all the additional stuff on his suit. And it's also really cool with like the yellow on it to me, like especially certain parts like his boots and then right around his chest and the lightning bolts on his head. It's almost like a neon yellow color is what that looks like to me, and I think it looks really cool. It's a nice bright yellow color, looks awesome. Then of course the rest of the suit is just all red, so normal Flash. Has lightning bolt on his chest, lightning bolt designs there like on his belt, around his gloves, and of course a little bit of lightning streaks coming off of his chest there. Just looks super cool. Nice big lightning bolts coming off of his head, and then of course the yellow boots as I mentioned. So just overall looks really cool. So it's just a normal looking Flash figure. One thing unfortunate though is his head. He doesn't come with any additional heads or hands, but so his head looks really weird. He's got the nice blue eyes though, but his mouth is open and like gritted teeth and stuff, and he has a weird look on his face, so don't like that too much. I wish he had an additional head we could switch out, but unfortunately doesn't, so we just have to kind of deal with that. And then his hands are like kind of like grasping hands or something, like I thought they normally straight or something like the Flash hands do when he's running, but they kind of like curled the fingers up a little bit, and I don't like that too much. So again, I wish we had some additional hands to go along with this as well, but we don't, unfortunately. But we can look at his movements though, so his head there can twist all the way around, and he can look down and look up, so not a whole lot of range in the neck. His shoulders come up about 90 degrees there, and has the butterfly joint in there if you want, and of course they can rotate around. Then he's got the bicep twitch, which unfortunately doesn't twist too much. That's the way it's designed, but we got his double elbow joint that can come up that far, so really good. And of course the wrist can twist around and then flex back and forth against the ball joints I hate. But then these guys have crunch there, so you can crunch forward and back, and then of course twist all the way around in there. And then we get the lower crunch right at the waist, so you can crunch forward and backwards like that. Again, they always work mostly backwards for some reason. But then his hips come up 90 degrees there and go out to the side that far. You can pretty much do the splits. And then we got a double knee joint that comes up that far, so pretty good far movements. Look how high his foot is above his butt, so that's just kind of funny. And then finally his foot there can flex back and forth again on the ball joint there. It can also twist all the way around, and then we get the toe joint right on the end of his foot. So overall I think the Flash looks pretty cool. This is our first Flash figure, so having this head is a little bit annoying, and then his feet don't like fit too well. He does have an issue with the toe joint on this foot we'll have to work on, but just the way his feet work and with these figures, they don't really get straightened up where you can stand very well, so that's just a little bit annoying. But of course with these figures they do come with the display stand, so we can just pop him on that. But then he also comes with the card here, and it's a nice metallic card. It's a lot thinner than I remember them. Usually they're kind of thicker cards, but there's a picture of the Flash there from the DC Rebirth, so that looks pretty cool. And on the back here it's Flash. It's from Flash #1 of Comics 2016. His real name is Barry Allen. He's 5'11" and 179 pounds, and his story says, in a freak lab accident, forensic scientist Barry Allen was struck by lightning and doused with chemicals which gave him the superpowers of the Speed Force. Now he uses these powers to defend his hometown of Central City and the rest of the world from the forces of evil as the Flash. The fastest man alive can run up sides of buildings, across oceans, and around the world at light speed. He can also vibrate his molecules to phase through solid objects. So of course there's our standard backstory for the Flash, and kind of showing off what he looks like here that matches the comic cover. But of course the star figure of this set is the Batman from Earth -52, or also known as Red Death. And this thing looks super cool. So it's got a combination armor of kind of like the Flashes mixed with Batman, since again this is Bruce Wayne, and when we read the card it'll give you kind of like his backstory and stuff. And so Bruce Wayne from a different Earth stealing powers from the Flash, and so it looks pretty cool. Again, like I said, very Flash looking. So he is in an all red suit, but he's got a dark like maroon color suit, then some nice bright red gloves, red boots, and I like how they even kind of would be like the lightning bolts, but they're just kind of like lines coming off of them, a lot like Batman's. Then of course he has the lines all over his body in a nice bright red color as well. He does have the Batman logo there on his chest, but it has the lightning bolt in it, of course, with the combination with the Flash. And his cowl has the bat wings, but again has sort of supposed to be kind of like that lightning design to it. And then I like the covering there on his mouth. A little bit of paint issues going on there. Has some extra red going on the face, which shouldn't be, so that's unfortunate. But overall, this thing looks super cool. It's got all these like spikes and everything just sticking up everywhere. Looks like the packaging may have hurt his legs a little bit. He looks a little bit bow-legged, unfortunately, so we have to kind of deal with that. But overall, it's just a super cool looking figure. These Dark Knights metal figures just look so awesome. So for his movement, so his head can twist all the way around, and then he can look down and look up. So again, not a whole lot of range movement. His shoulders come up 90 degrees there and has the butterfly joint, and of course rotates around. He has the bicep twist as well, but it twists a hell of a lot more than the Flash's. Double elbow joint that bends up that far, so again, really good. And the wrist twist around and flex back and forth. Upper ab crunch, he doesn't really crunch a whole lot. You have to kind of like stretch him. Again, he goes mostly back, which is unfortunate, but he has a little bit of ab crunch there and can twist side to side, and then the lower crunch added in there. His hips come up only about that far, a little bit under 90 degrees, but out to the side. He can't even do the splits. But a double knee joint that bends up that far, and then the foot can flex back and forth and twist all the way around, and then of course has the toe joint on the end of it. And just like the Flash as well, he also has some feet issues, especially with like his bow legs and stuff. But again, he comes with the normal base, so you can pop him on there. But then we got his card again in a nice metallic there. So there's a look at the Red Death from Dark Knight's metal. And if we flip it around, it says this is from Batman the Red Death #1. His real name is Bruce Wayne. He's 6'2", 210 pounds. And for a story, it says from Earth -52, here comes the fastest and deadliest man in the dark multiverse, Red Death. A menacing mashup of Batman and the Flash. This Dark Knight came to be when a once noble Cape Crusader stole the Speed Force from the Flash, hoping to prevent past tragedies. Clad in red metal armor, this sinister speedster moves like a literal bat out of hell. So there you get a little bit of the backstory that it is Bruce Wayne, but he ended up stealing the powers of the Speed Force from Barry Allen because he felt like he wasn't being able to show up fast enough to crime going on in Gotham, so he wanted to be faster, so he stole the Speed Force. But then unfortunately kind of turned bad and went around killing all of his rogues instead of just locking them up. So that gives you a little backstory there on Red Death and where he came from, and that it's still another Bruce Wayne just from another Earth. But again, the coolest thing with this set, with getting both of these figures together, was the cool display stand that we got. So again, it's just like a nice rock base. It's all plastic and stuff, but it looks like rock or ground, and it has some foot pegs on it, so we got a peg there and there, so we can take and stick these figures on it. So we'll have to get them positioned and stuff to make it look like they're running and fighting each other. So let me try and mess around with this. So there we go. So that's about the best I could probably do. So with the Flash, it looks like he has, you know, perfect like placement of his feet to go in there, and then the little dip back here in the back for his foot. So it looks like he's got perfect placement, like he's running and everything. But the Red Death with the peg being there, you don't really have any place to like stick his foot exactly. And then it's supposed to, you know, they're too close together and stuff, so it's like they're trying to clash into each other. But with this, it kind of looks like Flash is running, maybe trying to catch up to Red Death, but then Red Death like kind of like dodging out of the way of him. So I guess that's what I'm going to be making this supposed to be and look like and everything. So overall, I think it does look pretty cool. Maybe you could take the Red Death and kind of switch him around so it makes like he's in front and like Flash is chasing him or something. Could probably do that. But overall, I think that this doesn't look too bad. It was, like I said, not really exactly like a scene, but I think probably as best as you probably could do. But that's going to be it, though, for this Amazon exclusive McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Flash and Red Death 2-pack. And again, this just looks super cool. I like the whole base display and stuff. Just overall cool set, and you get 2 cool figures with it. So let me know what you thought of the set down in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this review, please leave a like for me. And of course, as always, hit that subscribe button. But thank you all for watching. I hope you stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next video.